in what has become a tradition over the course of the last one set, we're going to be reacting to KTOD slash Mike Gem's competitive buying guide for Legends of the Force. We want to find out if we agree with his
Yeah, I'm
takes
very
on how much
excited to
cards are
watch
worth.
this. Yeah,
I've not watched it yet,
me
so
either.
uh,
And this is like several at least 2 days later, so,
yeah,
I've been
we're
holding out
we're
to try and
slacking.
watch it live. Yeah, I'm so stoked. Love the content they make over there, and, obviously reaction content is like that's the thing, right? That's the
That's
YouTube
what you're supposed to
algorithm.
do, I guess, right? So,
Yeah,
we're gonna react to this, see what his takes are. See, I'm sure we'll
trash
agree on
takes.
some. I'm sure we'll disagree on others, and we'll just get right into it. Let me remember to put it on 2x so that I don't have to do
How
it
many
halfway
views
through.
does this have so far,
Like 4,000, I think.
actually?
Yep.
It would be an 8,000 video, but people are waiting to watch it with us.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it
mhm,
will be in a minute.
yeah. When you count ours plus the one that's on there, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. All right. Let's get into
What's
it.
up, your boy Bobby Sapphire, and today it is time for one of my favorite videos to make.
2 times speed is
I'm
so
gonna go
fast.
1.5.
1.75. Let's see how
All
that
right, all
sounds.
right. We might need to do a little bit of
Every
tweaking
set,
here.
it's my competitive buying guide where
That's
I
good,
That's all
tell you what
right.
the
that's
prices
good.
are going to be for every legendary in Legends of the Force, and I'm going to get them all right just like last time. Let's check it out.
Get them all right just like last time,
Hey, he got
uh-huh.
When I
half
made
of
this
them
video
right.
for Jump to Light Speed, I was pretty hard on all the prices. Thankfully, I got them
Let's
all right.
go.
That coaster, dude. This is awesome.
Right in the summer
Uh,
when Jay and Mike from Unplayable did their react to the price guide video, and then if you're not following us on TikTok, I did the react specifically about how I call cards unplayable coasters. And when we were in Minnesota for the regional championship, Mike and Jay gave me an unplayable coaster. I got
yes.
on my desk for my drink. So here's how this goes. I'm going to go through every legendary. I'm going to tell you what I think the price prediction is going to be, and then ideally Mike and Jay react to my great guesses in a couple weeks when
That's
the
right,
prices
Mike.
market. Like, some things to take care of before we get started are just like where I'm coming from with this set. I was really hard on the last couple of sets because the legendaries just weren't good, but that's not
That
the case
was really
with the
funny when he had made a makeshift unplayable
Yeah, because he
coaster
had a
to
sticker.
yeah.
It's
This is
so
more
It's
good.
good.
All
so
the
good.
legendaries are good. We're gonna see as I go through these, but we have not only playable legendaries, but actively some of the best cards in the set are legendaries, which is huge. The other thing is that like Carbonite isn't that great. Now the treatments are great, but there's a lot, there's a lot of foils in Carbonite. I'm not saying that the product isn't great before you buy it,
Interesting.
but I think that we saw
Hmm.
that the Carbonite prices didn't hold any better than the regular treatment prices, right? Like you don't need to get the Carbonite ones. People are perfectly happy getting the regulars and their hypers. So what I mean here is that I think
Maybe.
I mean, this goes back to what I've been saying is that, like, I don't think the collector market is nearly big enough for a Carbonite product to exist at this point in the game.
Yeah, that's probably true, but also I feel like if you don't buy regular boxes and you're just going for like legendaries and rares, then it's probably not that bad. Like the cost is probably still too high, but I feel like I got a lot of cards that I wanted from
Yeah, I
buying the
did too.
Carbonite and not
Yeah.
buying regular.
But we probably spent more money than we would have if we just went on the secondary market and bought them.
Yeah, probably. It
Especially
did
now.
bring down the cost, like at up front, the cost of hyperspace and foil legendaries and stuff were so cheap.
Yeah,
Up front.
because there was such a flood of them in the market because that's all you open in the Carbonite packs, and
Mhm.
there's not as much reason to open normal packs unless you're drafting.
I do think one thing that I mentioned in the previous time we did this was how I expected rares to be more valuable if rares are like
Mm,
better cards. And I do think we saw that some of the rares from the last set were like really pricey.
yeah.
And like even TDR, was that a set 4 card? That
No,
was set
that's
3,
set
right?
3. Yeah,
That
we've
was
got,
even
like
an expensive one.
yeah, that was expensive at the beginning of the set. Like, I've seen No Glory up at, like, $8 for a rare,
Yeah.
which is pretty expensive. Ahsoka, the unit, pretty
Mhm.
expensive. There's a handful of others that are up there,
Yeah.
and I think that's like, I'd rather see rares in, like, the $5 to $10 range
Mhm.
than legendaries in, like, the $60 to $70 range.
Yeah.
Um I feel like legendary is around like 30, 40, and then like the good rares at like 10 or, like 5 to 10, I feel like is a good sweet spot for prices. So yeah, we'll see what happens in this set. I do agree that the Carbonites, like, I don't know how many people are going to want the, like collage, like prestige ones. Like
Yeah.
I personally don't like those. And from what I've seen online, other people don't like them either.
And
So
those the prestige cards from the first Carbonite box are super cheap,
yeah.
like secondhand.
Yep.
And I don't think the serializes were, like, that great value either, to be honest.
No,
So,
there's just not the market for it, straight up. So, all right, let's get
That this set
in
will hold
back
its
into
value pretty
this.
well, and that I expect that these predictions, other than a couple that I'm going to mention, should stay pretty steady. This set drop is so close to the Galactic Championships, and 3,000 people are descending upon that just for the main event
yeah,
alone. So,
that's definitely gonna bring
depending
Mhm.
the
on all the players
prices
going to
up
side
a
events,
little.
there is a very small window to get these cards, just 2 weeks, 3 weeks if you're going for
Mhm.
weeklies, maybe like 3.5. If you're going to go to Vegas to play in these events, so that is going to make the price increase a little bit more. So if you're the kind of person who maybe just plays heroic or just plays villainous, you might be looking to resell sooner than later with the set, because I think the prices, if anything, will be a little juiced right when the set drops. And then finally, because there are so many good leaders in this set and iconic Jedi leaders, I expect the showcases to be extremely sought after, and because so much carbo will get ripped, it will also lead to more of those cards flooding the market, which means that the regular treatment cards should, if anything, stay like just slightly lower, but stay steady. So those are the things I'm thinking about when I make these predictions. All right,
I
let's
agree
start
with
getting
that.
into card prices. The first up is the man Darth Vader from Twilight of the Apprentice, riding his tie advance to victory as not only the most legendary in the
$30.
set, the most expensive, best card in the set. I think it's gonna have a high pre-sale price. This is I'm gonna mention this a few times throughout the video, but this is a card that if you play, you're gonna play three. And man, did FFG give us a legendary? This is what legendaries are supposed to be. It's a bomb. It's a main character. It's a character we love or a character we hate. I absolutely expected this card to be above $30 pre-sale. I think it'll settle around 30 in time for Galactics. And if it settles anywhere, I would expect it to potentially settle in the 25 to 30 range. But my guess for
Do
this,
you
this
do you think this card's still good without ECL in the meta? Like, after rotation is not good, but do you think it's still as insane?
It's not as broke. Well, yeah, like that. If there's other ways to give him ambush, like there's already Sheehan Flurry
Well,
that's in this
timely
set,
timely
timely as well, but
reinforcement
that's
is going
rotating
to
too.
rotate out too. So after
Yeah.
rotation, is this card still like Sheehan Fury is the only thing that
Well,
is giving ambush?
and cards in set 6 and set 7. So,
Yeah,
like,
if there is.
if there
Do you
is.
think they've learned like ambush is broken? Don't give stuff that doesn't have ambush.
I don't know. Uh,
um,
I mean, it's maybe less exciting in the future,
it's
but
definitely a lot slower.
depends on what kind of removal exists in that world too, because maybe you don't need ambush as often in a
Yeah,
post rotation world. Uh,
but
yeah,
for now, it's absolutely broken.
yeah, real good, real good. Okay, so $30. Uh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a running list here too of
Is this is this going to
our
be
predictions.
um is this going to be 2 weeks? Are we checking the prices 2 weeks after release? Is that what we're doing?
I feel like 2 weeks is pretty short because of Galactics. You know what I mean? Like the prices are gonna be inflated because
Well,
people are trying to get
2 weeks after
products.
release or 2 weeks after pre-release? Because pre-release, I think if you
Oh,
include that, we have like 3 weeks to get the cards that we want, right? Because
yeah,
pre-release is a week earlier, and that's literally just release since they're selling whatever they want. You can
but it
buy out as much as you want.
but if people are scrambling to get the cards before Galactics, then
Mhm.
regardless of whether it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like it's gonna get inflated.
Yeah, but I feel like a month after the set
And
releases
yeah,
is
that's a
like
long time.
so it's
Well, okay, you know
either
what? Why don't we do our predictions about what the price is gonna be right before Galactics?
right before
Yeah,
Galactics.
so 2 weeks after the set releases.
Okay. I think that's what he's going with as well.
Okay. We
Because
should line up with whatever he's doing. So,
he mentioned that, the cost or the scramble to get cards before Galactics is going into his, calculations.
okay. All right, let's do it
So,
then.
do we wanna say $30.01?
All right.
Do you think this
I'm
is
I'm busting out the iPad. I'm gonna write our guesses on here so I don't have to go back and watch our
perfect?
video again later.
Perfect.
Yeah, are we over or under 30?
What did we have a single card that was at 30 last set? Was it
Devastator?
Devastator was at 30, like, right at 30?
Yeah.
And that was with
Um,
Django.
yep. Yep. But
So, do
it
we think
wasn't right
this
before
is
Galactics. But also like
right,
Devastator and Django were like the most played things of all time, like right when the set came out. So,
right.
but it is Darth Vader.
So, we can go
But
with
that's so tough because there will be a prestige version of this too. And a
There was a
prestige version
Prestige
that
of
I
the
don't think looks
Devastator,
that
though.
good, so it might be cheaper than the normal, like, hyperspace version of this legendary. Uh,
There was a
this
Prestige of
is
the
tough.
Devastator, though, too. And we have Store Showdown ones for Devastator and all that stuff.
I think it's gonna be really close. I could be convinced either way. My argument for over is it's Vader. it's insanely strong. People are going to want to play this at Galactics. My argument against it is that the meta seems like it's wider than it was when Devastator was the $30 legendary. And so
Mhm.
not as many total people will be playing Vader at Galactics, if that's what we're basing our pricing off of. And uh like there will be a lot of cards on the market. So
So you
the
thinking like 25?
I
Or
could
you
honestly I could go either way. I'm completely 50-50 on this.
and we're playing the rules where, like, if we say 1 cent, then it covers all the way up to 30,
Everything up to 30.
right?
Yeah, it's just
That's
over
the rules we're
under.
playing?
It's just
Okay.
yeah, over 30 or under 30. Or I guess at 30 or under.
Right, right. Or we say 30 and 30
Or
and 1 cent.
right.
So what are you thinking?
I kind of think it's gonna be over.
Alright,
It's freaking
30
Darth Vader, dude.
30 and 1 cent is what we're going with.
Okay, you know what? Okay, here's my logic. In the last set, the Darth Vader legendary, uh, Mike rated that like he thought I think it was gonna be like a $10 card, and it was
Less than that, I
yeah
think.
or less, and it was higher than he thought. So I think this time he's also underestimating the Darth Vader effect of it
Okay,
just being a Darth Vader legendary.
let's
It'll be
do it.
worth more than people think it's worth.
Lock it
So
in. 30
30
and
and
1
one
penny.
cent.
Have you seen that
3001.
Office episode where Dwight is bidding on something at the, like, auction after they got robbed, and he's like, 30 and 1 penny, 101 penny. It's like, that's not how auctions work.
No. All right. Are we we're
Card that's a
continuing.
$30
Yeah,
legendary.
let's
It
go.
goes in every blue villain deck. If they're not running it, I'm going to say, what's wrong with you? You got to be running this card. It's that good. It's not only good with ambush, it is good all the time, although it is absolutely correct with ambush. All right, next up is a bad theme card.
Oh, you think it's
One
good
My
all the
absolute dream
dollar.
time?
card. Always two. This is a 4-cost Sith event that destroys all your other units except for 2 Sith units. It does give him 2 shields, it does give him 2 experience. But for 4, like, are we ever doing this? Like, are you ever nuking
He
with
had to have done some
Am
research
I
beforehand, we didn't.
the only one that likes this card?
I think it's a very cool card. I think it's bad, but I think it's a super cool card.
I like playing it and I think it's really fun. And I think you can just win the game off of this card alone, but I also understand the argument that it is not a good card because it kills your other units and it if your opponent kills your units that you buffed, you just lose
Yeah.
everything.
I wanna see, alright, let's see. Devastator's down to $6, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
that
less than Vader, Planetary Bombardment, Han
there's only
Solo.
one deck that plays it,
Yeah,
which is
now.
like the Boba deck. Like that's
That's kinda crazy.
yeah, that is
Anyway,
actually really crazy.
I wanted to check to see how many cards were less than a dollar, and, there's not very many. They're,
Yeah.
like, mega unplayable cards.
What's
Even Death Star
Nebula
Plans is more than
Ignition?
a dollar.
Yeah, like
A
Nebula Ignition
dollar and
or
9 cents.
okay, so there's no way
We're
that this is
going
under a dollar. So this
yeah, we're
has to be a
going
dollar and 1 cent
a
just off of
dollar and
principle.
1. Yep. There's no way this is a
I think
dollar.
this is okay, I'm gonna say it's a $2 card because it's always 2.
There you go. I
Worth
like
to
it.
buff 2 Sith units? I don't think so. They did give us a bunch of Sith units that have cool when defeated effects, but not enough to
Dude,
make this
Scramble
this is a
Fighters
bad
is
theme card. I
$2.
can never
Yeah,
see
that's
this going in a
insane.
competitive deck. Shout out to anyone who runs this at Worlds. Make sure you hit me up. I'll have you sign a playset.
Alright, I'm gonna run this at
It's a dollar
Worlds.
card.
I'm not playing in the
Will
main
arrive,
event though.
does not come.
Oh,
Oh, here
no.
we go.
Alright, let's continue.
Another blue legendary that's great. This is a neutral bomb because it's not tied to villainous or heroic. It's just gonna go in so many decks. And
Anakin?
people
Oh, man.
love this kind of mechanic.
So
where Hero
good.
is a neutral card and it deals with hero and villain, and then we have
Yeah,
Anakin.
I think
Leader
this
is a hero
guy's
with his own card.
insane.
All of that is so juicy for getting this card going. So it makes Timmy's really happy to build like a combo deck around it. But also, it's just a really solid competitive card, even if you just give something -3/3 when it comes into play. This is another one of those 3-ofs that's gonna go in so many decks as a 3-of, but not just villainous like Darth Vader was before. Every blue deck, hero or villain, is going to consider running Anakin, especially if you're doing Force, Jedi, maybe Republic someday. So this is gonna be a 20.
This is tough.
Okay. I think that this card is gonna be up there with Vader. Maybe not quite as high. Like I do think this is more than 22 though, because I think it goes in like almost every single blue deck.
That's tough.
It's just such good value, and
There's literally no jump to light speed cards right now that
yeah,
are
that
more
is
than
expensive.
22.
Yeah, but this is right before Galactics. Like people are gonna want to put this in their Galactic stacks.
But I feel like this goes in more specific decks, like way more specific decks. Like, I don't know if every blue deck runs this.
I kind of feel like almost every blue deck should.
Maybe.
Like
maybe.
even a 6 cost 5/7 gives something -3/-3 is good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think this card's cracked. Maybe it goes in every single blue deck.
I think I think it does.
Like, I don't think I run this in my Cure ECL deck.
Okay. You don't like giving things -3, -3, and then hitting them for 5?
I'm resourcing this and ambushing my Vader.
What if you don't draw your Vader? This is like
You
Vader
are.
number, uh, 5, 6, and
You
7,
are,
or
though.
4,
You
5, and 6.
are. I'm saving my ECL for Vader. No, I don't I mean, I think it's good. You're wanting to go 22 and 1 cent?
Yeah, I think I'm over on this one.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright. Maybe I'm just
I'll
too
defer
excited
to
about
your
this
best
set, but
judgment.
you know what?
Well, we've gotten the 2 best cards out of the way, so
Yeah, it's true.
$2 card is one of my 2 cards that I have north of $20 right now. Next up is our first unplayable coaster. Shout out to Unplayable. It's very
there it
possible that this
is.
gets a Mando Bendu worth
Nice.
$2, but I'm going to stick this in the unplayable coaster category. Not only is this the only 9-drop 10/10, no, we haven't. I think Bendu's 8 cost 10/10. So obviously this comes into play shielded, and it has some other friendly effects. But Mando
Mine's
creature,
all
not what it's all about in
dirty.
the competitive world. So this is
This
a bummer.
card's terrible.
These
It
will be keeping
sucks.
your desks from getting
Now, the
messy.
hard thing to do like, he went $1. There's so few cards that are less than $1, dude, you
Yeah.
know? But I think that this card will eventually be less than $1. Like, let's see, Profundity is less than
Mm,
$1,
mhm.
Executor is $1, Shadowcaster. I think it's among those as, like,
Yeah.
terrible, but I don't think it will be within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this will be in exactly 0 decks, but I also think that, yeah, just based on the fact that it's a legendary in a brand new set
And
and
people
it hasn't
just
had
trying to
time to
complete
get
their,
below a
like
dollar yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
not enough time. People are trying to complete their set, so they have 3 of each card, you know?
Yep.
This is $1 and 1. That's an
Yep.
easy dub right there
It'll be
for us.
exactly $1.01 when when we
For
look.
your TC value 2 weeks from now. All right, the Supremacy. Haven't we had enough
Ooh.
12 cost Star Destroyers or whatever?
Wow.
I guess this is just a capital ship. Wait, Star Destroyer type? I don't think it is. 12 cost ships. We get another one here with the Supremacy. It's unimaginable size here. But I gotta say, it actually has some sneaky combo potential. It's got Ambush. Really good. It gives other friendly
It
vehicle
do
units
have
get +6/+6.
ambush.
Meaning like you could drop this on a TIE squadron or something, and everything is hitting huge. You could use this in like a Vader deck with Galactic Ambition to take 12 and buff all the other units for +6. I mean, it's a 2-card combo, but it would absolutely kill your opponents on the spot. So it's got sneaky combo potential, and for that reason, I'm going to make it a $4.50 legendary. I think it's pretty good, and I expect this to be in a deck at the Galactic Championship Stage 2.
I'm gonna go
Ooh,
less than
okay.
that.
Yeah, that was a hot take.
Yeah, I'm gonna go less than that.
I think I am too. Uh, Under 450, so we're gonna say
Yeah,
1 cent.
1 cent.
Okay, this is the first one that we've thought was worth less than he does.
Yeah.
The comments about it's gonna be in at least one day 2 deck. I'm pretty sure that's his deck. Just gonna run back that Vader.
Go ahead and write that down for us for review once we, record our review of this after Worlds,
Yep.
and we'll, see
Leia
if
Organa.
your
What a
call
cost.
was
Isn't that
right.
crazy when Leia flew through space? It was something
They at
that everyone
Oh
$9.
yeah,
seeing the Jedi
wow.
or having the Force was like, oh, we could do this. That could be real. And then when she did it in the movies, people hated it. And now the card is available to us in Star Wars Unlimited, and it's pretty great. Force Resistance Official, she plays to space, and then for an action, you
Crazy.
move her to the ground, and she buffs your whole team, including her. So there are some sneaky potential plays with like sneak attack. My guess is that this is a $9 card. I think if it wasn't Leia, and if it wasn't such a meme that you could see it fall to around $5, like if this was just a random vehicle, like a la Blue Leader or something. But with this being Leia and this being one of the most
I'm
iconic
going
scenes in the
less.
sequel trilogy,
You going
the levels
less?
are so
1
off the charts
cent.
that I have this
Yeah,
as a $9 legendary.
for sure.
The the comments about sneak attack, I didn't actually think about that. Like you
I
sneak
told
attack it in
that to
and it's
you.
ready. But I didn't realize that it buffed itself when it moved to the ground arena.
But you have to, like, I guess that that works, but part of the combo of having sneak attack is so that you can get the Force using her
Oh,
while
sure.
she's in space, so
Sure.
that you can then move to the ground.
But way better if you already have the force and you just move her
Yes,
down to the
for
ground
sure,
arena
for
and
sure.
then she hits for 7.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Uh yeah, I don't know, I could see it, but also it's kind of a goofy card.
The
Like
only
I
reason
think
that
it's
I
strong.
think that it's way less is because I've seen this card exactly 0 times playing proxy games so far.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. Uh so 1 cent. All right,
With
I
this
like
being
it.
Leia and this being one of the most iconic scenes from the sequel
It's
trilogy,
also like
the meme world is so off the charts
Resistance
that I have this as a 9
official.
Leia.
Like, who cares about that
All right,
crap?
probably the third most obvious in the
Yoda.
vacuum,
All
Legendary
right,
Yoda.
this dude's
This is a
good.
genuinely great card. The payoff is crazy. When you use the Force,
Yes,
he triggers. So
This
the more you use it, the
is
more often
insane.
he just starts consuming
very
the board.
good.
He's just sitting there meditating in episode 1,
I
collecting big
honestly
chunks of
think
Uncle
that
Mantis
this
and Yariel Poof and Yaddle and
might
stuff,
be
and all of a sudden he's
better
just
than
making
like
the board's
Home
tip.
One.
On top of that, he does it when he comes into play by healing 5 damage from your base. He's just so great.
It's
This is another one of
different.
those cards that I think is going to be heavily
Yeah.
played in Premier and competitive formats. So I guess this is a $14 card, but I would say like if Twin Suns ever really pops off, this is going to go up because especially the prestige treatment of Yoda is just going to go crazy because it's such a strong card.
Okay,
Pauses. Yeah.
I think it's higher.
Yeah. I think that too. 1401.
It's Yoda, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like the most popular or second most popular hero, like Jedi character.
It's also our first version of a like Clone Wars Yoda. The
Yeah,
only other
and like a
Yodas.
really strong, like Clone Wars Yoda. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars Yoda showcase is like still pretty high price, even though it's not played that often because it's Yoda.
Yep.
So I think just the Yoda tax is gonna bump the price up here, and it's also a really strong card
Yes.
in a
Yeah.
lot of
I had
hero
this played
decks.
against me, and it's like once this hits the table, it's hard to deal with, and
Yep.
it's hard to like keep anything on the board. Like
Yeah.
it's brutal.
9 health is insane, and it does something. It does basically two things immediately when you play it.
Yep.
So
It
I think
heals
this
you.
is
It's
super
like
strong.
vigilance for 8, where you're
Hmm.
killing something and healing.
Yeah, and leaving behind a 5/9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can continue to deal damage to your opponent's units while you play force cards.
Yeah. I think this
So
card is absolutely insane, and every green late game hero deck is going to be playing it.
yeah,
That
yeah,
if you're
as long as
using the
it's
force.
force.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I've seen lots of like Han 2 green force stuff, and this would like go well in that among a bunch of other different like hero
Yeah.
force decks.
This is going to
Yeah.
go up because especially the prestige treatment
1401.
of Yoda is just going to go crazy because it's such a strong card. Oh, shout out to my boy Oppo Rancisis.
Oppo
I forget the rest of his name, right? So it's a PG
Rancis.
character too. So he's niche colors, right? Like we don't see mono green too often, but we do like a 3/5 drop with Force Jedi. That's that's where we want to be. So if there ever is a mono green Force deck or even just a mono green deck with any of these keywords, he's an auto include because even just as a 3/5 with those traits, he's great. But if you have an opportunity to give him Sentinel, Shielded, Overwhelm, Sav, Restore, Raid, anything, he's just gonna be like one of the staples of your deck, one of the like 3 drops you want to hit.
I
So
do think this is the best double green card we've seen so far.
Yeah, I do too. But I think that's all like i- he's being held down by how bad the other double green cards are.
Yeah.
If double
And
green was a viable competitive color combo, this would be way more common.
and there's like exactly 0 mono decks being played.
Yep.
I've like that have made any top tables, not even double yellow con or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't see this being played.
I don't
But
either. Yeah.
what is its cost going to be? More than 3? This is where it's a little more tricky right here at $3 for a
Yeah.
card like this.
Because $3 is like pretty cheap.
Yeah, but pretty accurate.
Yeah. I'm assuming there's going to be a prestige of this, which means that it's going to be more common of a card
Mhm.
compared to
It
some of the
just
other legendaries.
it just depends on how much we think that like the rush for worlds is gonna spike or decrease the cost of these cards.
Yeah.
And
I don't think anybody's playing this at Worlds,
right.
or at
So
least not many people.
are we going less? Are we going a dollar 1 cent?
That's so tough.
I think it's
I kind of
definitely gonna
want to.
settle less than that. I think the only weird thing is like the time frame of right before worlds.
Yeah.
Uh I'll say 1 cent. I'll put it up there.
Okay.
I'll take the L if I'm wrong.
I think I agree with you.
he's really good as is. He doesn't
Alright.
really have a place in the meta right now because mono green just seems so far behind all the other colors. But if he ever is good, and obviously this card's gonna be legal for a long time,
I guess
my guess is you just stack
Rex
him.
double
And since he's
green
only gonna be around $3, I think
is a thing. But I don't even know if you play this in that deck.
You probably do, but just because it's a 3/5 for 3.
a very
But
easy stash. Grab
like,
3 red die.
who's
Maybe you
excited
grab
to
them
play
already for
that
cheap.
in this
Put them
set?
on there, and on the back page and say, no, I just
Somebody.
those are untradeable. Drop the price up like that.
Yeah, your purpose, baby.
HK47. I don't know why this is a
Ooh.
legendary. I'm really not sure. It's a 2/4 drop. We get a million of those this set. It's a droid, which I guess.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, this is a really strange choice to be a legendary. This is on the level of Kylo's tie as a legendary.
Yeah.
But Kylo's Tie is one of the most expensive legendaries.
Is it still?
I think so. It's
Let's see.
I think it's over $10.
That's crazy. It's $15, dude. And the
There you
freaking
go.
hyperspace is
Yep.
28.99.
Yep.
Why?
Yep. I I could see an argument that like Kylo's Tie is kind of the only like 3-2 in space for villain red.
Yeah.
And so it's like villain red just like really wants that stat line, and that's the only way you can get it.
It's kinda nice against force throw
Yeah. Yep.
for aggro
With the
decks.
ability.
Yeah.
HK47,
Way
I
worse than that.
I think it's I think it is worse, but I do like the card. Like I do think it's a good card.
I mean, it's a 2 cost 2/4 for red villain. Like,
Yeah.
you like that.
Like, do they have other options? I don't think they do, right?
In red,
Yeah,
not
like
like
the other
great
red 2 drops
stuff.
are kind of trash.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I
Like
kind
in
of
3rd Sister, I'm running all yellow 2 drops.
yeah, because the red ones are just not great.
I'm not even playing this guy.
I kind of think that this guy is more than $3 because of
Okay.
the slot that he fills.
He is Sith.
And he's yeah, Sith traded, which could matter. Droid could matter at a certain point. I mean,
You can
we're
fetch him out with that, spaceship. 2 cost, find a 2 cost droid, play it.
yeah, true, true. um, but I don't know. I if this guy was a Force unit instead and had the Force trait, then I think it'd be like a $20 card straight up. Like there aren't
Oh,
any
yeah.
options in red villain that you can
Uh-huh.
include that do that. Um, so he is kind of a little bit worse there. But I do think he's just a good unit. So I don't know. I'm gonna say more than 3, but I wanna hear what
$3
Mike
and
has
one
to
cent.
say.
Feel it's Sith, but like we see some Sith payoff. I
Yeah.
don't really see this being any good. But the thing that will make it good is that So sorry, let me restart. It is pretty good, but like it's not so good that it's necessarily taking the place of any other 2 drop that you could play in your deck. Like I don't know if this makes the cuts in a lot of decks, but if you do need Sith and you do need Droid, he's going to be obviously like an optimum or optimal card to put in. So you'll want 3 of, and for that reason, I have it at $3. So I think if he finds the right spot, you're going to want him. Otherwise, there's plenty of 2 drops you could look at elsewhere. This Grand
Okay.
Inquisitor is really good. Possibly top 5 legendary in the set. Very solid role player in Red Force. Being hidden, he hits for 4. He turns all your other Inquisitors hidden, which is like pretty nifty if those guys ever get good. But the thing is, if you're playing Red Force villain, if you're playing Imperial Red on the ground, like this guy is just going to become a staple. So I think he's going to end up being like a $10 card because when you want him, you want 3. He's one of those cards.
Wow, $10 a
Seeing
lot.
Relic, the Jet.
That
Go
is a
back,
lot.
go
Hang
back.
on. Yeah.
Hmm.
I do think it's good.
Alright, so here's my thing with this card, which I know they're different colors, so
Are you gonna
that's the
compare it
thing.
to Grievous?
No, well, you can compare it with Grievous because he's just 3 cost 4/4, uh, and, like, do you really care that much about being hidden when you're a 3 cost 4/4? Maybe. Uh, but Shin Hati is also a 3 cost hidden, and she's a 4/2 with a shield,
Mhm.
and I really like her as a unit. I think if I'm running, like, red, yellow villain, I'm running her over Grand Inquisitor. Um, yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't see that many decks playing this
Yeah,
unless it's,
maybe.
like, for a specific reason.
Yeah, it would have to be like a new deck that pops up. Like, can I don't know, like Mother Talzin Red is like a card that would want this over some of the other 3 cost cards that you could play, potentially, because it does have the Force trait. You can get the Force with it. But it's
Yeah.
like, do you just play Death Trooper because you're giving stuff -1, and then
Well, she's also got, like, the Talzin Assassin, I think, is a 3
that costs
cost.
4?
Or what's the 3 cost one?
Does she I don't think she has a 3 cost, like,
I don't know,
Night
but
Sister unit.
yeah, I don't
She's
know.
got the
I
2
don't think
cost
I've
2
seen this
4.
being played in Mother Talzin decks,
Hmm.
which is interesting. Hmm.
I I think it's like I think it's good, and I think the stats are good. Hidden, I mean, if you're playing other Inquisitor units, giving them hidden is nice, but that's not gonna pop up that much probably. Maybe there's some kinda, like, green red where you play, like, Eighth Brother and you play, like, a bunch of other Inquisitors.
Mhm.
But I don't know how relevant that part is. just the fact that it's a 3 cost, like, force unit, but, I don't know, like, is this better than Ezra? It's just like a 3 cost 3/4 that does something when it attacks. This gets
No.
+1 attack when it attacks. Ezra gives you card advantage sometimes. They're both force units.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're playing the Jedi in hiding too.
Okay.
I've seen that card a lot. It's a 3 cost 3/3 hidden, but when it dies, you can discard a card from your opponent.
Like, I like this card, but I kinda think it's under $10 just because it's kinda boring.
Yeah, and no one's playing, like, Inquisitors that much, and it's like,
Yeah,
the one Inquisitor leader besides the one playable Inquisitor leader, their sister
already
already
has
has
hidden.
hidden, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Alright, are we saying 1 cent?
yeah, I would be,
Alright,
personally.
let's do it.
They also have Marin, which
Oh, yeah.
could be worse than this, but I
Marin's
don't
pretty
know.
good.
So I think he's going to end up being like a $10 card because when you want him, you want three. He's one of those cards. All right,
Centralic, dude. I'm very excited to see what he
I've
says
not
about
even
this one.
played with this guy yet.
Sin Dralik, the Jedi Weapon Master. Shout out to any of my friends who played the what's it called? It wasn't called Star Wars. Was it called Star Wars Miniatures? Either way, the Jedi Weapon Master is here. You play a lightsaber on him for free when you play him, and when you do, you ready him.
Oh, it's this
Lightsaber obviously
guy.
pretty niche. He's an 8 cost 5/6. When you don't have that lightsaber, like you're never gonna want to play this guy. He's basically a resource. I think he's really strong if there's a spot for this wombo combo kind of deck. I don't see one right now. You do get all the card draw with Ki Mundi, but none of the lightsabers are
Mm.
so good that you need to include multiple. Like you might consider Jedi lightsaber, Yoda's lightsaber. Those are good lightsabers on their own, but how many lightsabers are you gonna put in a deck? That's the real problem. So it's a little wombo combo. I think that even like a little high here on $4. I think I'd probably, if I was editing myself, I might go like 250, $3.
I think this dude's
Yeah.
super cool. I wish he was 7 costs with less stats
Yeah.
so that you could do this in a Han Solo deck.
That would be cool.
You could play a Han 1 red and play this dude for
That would be
7,
fun.
give him a lightsaber, and put him ready.
I do like that idea. I think, yeah, I think I agree with Mike that the lightsabers aren't that good that
Mhm.
you want to be putting a billion of them in your deck. I feel like for a card like this to be really popular, you would need either a leader that encourages you to play a bunch of lightsabers in your deck already, or some bigger payoff than just having a ready like 8, 9, or whatever you're going to end up having.
Yeah.
Because, like, even at 8 cost, like a ready 8, 9 is not that good because you're at the point in the game when your opponent, like, can play their powerful stuff that does more impactful things. So that's kind of
Y
my take on it. Like, if you could attack right, if there was like a lightsaber that was like snapshot reflexes where you can, like, when you play it, you get to attack
Mhm.
right away. Like Maul's
Yeah.
lightsaber, for example, if like Maul's lightsaber wasn't, if this is attached to Darth Maul, but it was like, if this is attached to a force unit, you would just play that in this deck. And
Mhm.
even though it's out of aspect, like that combo together could be strong enough because now you're dealing 9 damage that your opponent can't interact with. But yeah, I
Is
don't know.
Ahsoka's lightsaber only Ahsoka or any
Uh, I think it is.
only Ahsoka?
Yeah, but you can attack with any unit, but it has to be attached to
Oh, if you
Ahsoka.
put it on her, then you can attack with any unit. Okay.
Yeah,
Dang.
so
RIP.
that don't work.
Nope.
So I think I'm under on this one.
1 cent.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But I think he's going to see play because I think people are going to want to try and make that endorphin hit happen of playing a lightsaber. You only have to play one. It's not like Grievous when you need four. All right, Bendu.
Bend
Bendu, man.
85 cents.
Okay, there's no way it's
Well,
85 cents, but I
86
also
cents.
hate this card.
It's the art on it is so sick
It
though.
is. I mean, that's hands down the best part of the card.
Hyperspace of this is gonna be sweet.
Yeah. But
But yeah, it's a
why does
bad
it have
card.
to be so bad?
You tell me, coach.
Somebody explain it to me.
I mean, 7 costs 10 8. It's kinda cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have Bendu, poor Bendu, at Unplayable Coaster. My teammate Justin, just a few hours ago, said, I actually think Bendu's pretty good. I feel bad about giving this 8 drop 10/10
No, I think
Unplayable
it's
Coaster, but
terrible.
he's an Unplayable Coaster. Why? Because we just have so many better options at 8. Use Force, Use Creature, which I
Yeah.
think would pay off the set. And 10/10 for 8 is crazy. But when we're playing 8 drops, we're looking for things that do so much more to the board than sit there as a 10/10 and wait.
Yeah, I
I just don't
agree.
see this
I
ever making the
agree.
cut on any of those, so I have this as an 85-cent Unplayable Coaster. Sorry, Justin.
It's terrible.
Yeah. He's just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, we're going with 86 cents
Yeah,
because
100%.
there's no way it's less than that 2 weeks in.
Nope.
All right,
Uh,
Marchand Rowe
all
from
right,
the Legend of the Jedi
Marchand Rowe.
books and
Martian,
The Nihil. I don't know how to pronounce it in Star Wars universe. He's 5X. I'm playing a good
Nile.
amount of CAD Tarkin Town so far this set, and he is really good. Like that's something CAD was missing to just like drop something that kind of buffed not only CAD but your whole board when you have things like whatever the 3 cost 1/5 is and or Sing, just like all those raid units. He's a decent enabler for raid, but until we have like the problem with raid is these guys have such low power when you play them. It's so easy for our opponent to trade into them without dying back, just value kill us. So
Mhm.
what happens is when you play
Mhm.
all these raid guys, you're not getting kickbacks, you're not trading back when they die, and it makes just the whole deck kind of underpowered. And there's enough cards around now that we don't need to play raid units. We can just play 3/5s instead of 1/5s that have raid
I
too.
feel like this dude
So
feels
if there are
really
abilities with the
awkward
raid,
to
I can see
play.
this being really good. But
Yeah.
with him being a hype villain from the books and like having a good fit in a couple in a meta deck, one meta deck, I have him at 6. That might be a little high. He could settle in around 4, but he's definitely one of those guys where if there is a raid situation, he's gonna come off the top rope to be in that deck, and his price will skyrocket.
I think he's a really cool dude, but it's just so awkward to play this dude.
Yeah. He's more exciting if you can cheat him out. But
Sure.
the one argument that I sort of see in CAD is that like there really aren't, at least in CAD Red, like there aren't really any other 6 cost cards that you want to play,
Yeah.
or at least not like very exciting ones. So this is like maybe a 2 of where you like, maybe sometimes it just fills your curve as like a 6 cost 6/7 that deals 2
But
damage
I
to
feel like
something
on
and then buffs CAD.
6, like, you wanna flip and Relentless Pursuit or, like,
Yeah, yeah.
McClunky and do
Doing
all
like
these
2
other
things
things.
is good. Sometimes you can't afford to though. Or sometimes like maybe this just adds enough power to the board where you can play a more aggressive CAD deck and you
Yeah.
can like flip this and then just push damage to your opponent. Um I really like this card. I think it is really cool and really fun, but like the points that Mike made about like the inherent weaknesses of raid as a
Mhm.
mechanic are true.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like Raid is such an aggro concept,
yeah,
and then this is not an aggro card, you know?
right. Well, yeah, it's tough. It's like, yeah, because it is kind of expensive. It's like if I'm looking at this as like the raid dot dex version of like Victor Leader, like it's twice as expensive and not
Yeah.
in space. So it's like a little bit
Like,
easier to interact with. Like
if
by
this
by this time in
card
the game, your opponent's got their leader out on the board, and you're
right.
just
If this card said, "Turn each friendly unit's raid off and just make it their stats,"
oh sure.
like, that would be
Oh,
really
instead
cool.
of doubling their raid, it was like each friendly unit gains rate or gains plus X plus 0 equal to their rate or whatever.
But then they don't get raid on attack.
No, I like it if they
No,
keep
that
raid
would
on
be dumb.
attack.
That would be
Because that's the
broken.
same effect. It's just they're better at defense.
It is the same effect, but, that actually might not would be broken. I would be down with that, honestly.
It would make him much more interesting,
Way
at
more
least.
playable, for sure. If you turn I guess it would have to be 3 for now there are 2 of them, but still, like, you get this guy out on 3 and you have, like, an Aura Sting on board, and now it's a
Yeah, now
3/4
she's
instead of
a
what she
3/4
is.
raid 3 instead of
Like,
a
that's
1/4
sick.
raid 6.
Yeah. That would make his that if that's what his ability was, he'd be awesome.
Okay, now the the one thing I really want to do with this, you're gonna have to tell me if this works or not, is can you clone your Marchand Row and double the double?
I think so, yeah.
That's
Why
what
would you not be able to do
I
that?
don't know. I I'm not the rules person. I just play the cards I'm given. Uh, but I mean that's not good, but I want to do it.
That's sick is what it is.
All right. So ultimately, what do we think this card is
1 cent.
worth? 1 cent.
Yeah, I'm going under.
Yeah. Sadly, I think you're right.
If his ability was what I said, then yeah, but it's
Okay.
not.
Yep.
So he's a good stash for me. Finally, QGJ comes to SWU. This is a proper legendary, an absolute bomb. 7/5 ambush that also takes another unit off the board when he dies. That's taking advantage of that low HP, but high hit. He's killing things like Talzin, like
He's really good.
Quinlan. I mean, I know he
I
comes out later.
I I agree.
My point is, he kills just about everything on the board. Vader, and when he dies, he takes out the other things. Kind of like an anti-Vader that way. Vader brings something out as a 5/7. He kills whatever. He kills Vader and he kills whatever he took out. Puts it on the bottom or top of their deck. So I think this is going to be a huge role player in Yellow Hero deck. So I have this at 16 bucks. I think he's going to be a premier legendary this set.
I think the really cool thing about this guy is, like, in decks that play him. Whenever your opponent like drops a Devastator, it's like anti-Devastator, anti-Avenger. Like this guy dies, but then their Avenger also goes away.
Uh, no, because it's ground units only.
Oh, I haven't. Hmm, that's way worse. Why
It
is it
is
all in ground unit? That's so lame.
because he's I don't know, fighting on the ground. I
I
don't know.
guess it's anti Han Solo
Yeah,
tech. I don't know.
yeah. The tough thing about like the second part of the ability is that your opponent just can choose to put their card on the top of their deck and just play it next turn.
I guess it's anti Luke. Yeah, but like in Han Green,
It's a tempo hit. Like
yeah, I don't want you restoring that 3, like, I think that's huge,
this is
being able
more
to.
of a tempo card to me than like a control card or like a or
Yes,
anything else, right?
absolutely.
So like if you're using this to press an advantage that you already have, or you're using this to put your opponent behind while you still do something. Like if you have nothing on board and you play Qui-Gon, kill their guy and like put the other guy on top, and then your Qui-Gon dies, like I don't think that's a good play necessarily.
Right.
But in this scenario, I guess unless you're playing like a super stally deck that you don't care that your opponent plays the card next turn. Um, but I do like it is good. It is strong. The stats are good. Like ambush for 7 is nice.
I
Do we
think it
think it's
really
$16?
I don't know. I think, like, I look at this card and it's a 7 cost yellow hero card. The only
Yeah, you're
deck
just
I'm
like, okay,
thinking
Han.
about this is Han Green, and I think that it is I don't have this in my set 5 main deck. I think I bring it in against blue decks for, some of their, like, Lukes and
Yeah.
crap. Because I think that's pretty impactful. Like, I play this on my 5 resource turn, and then whenever you're able to kill it with your Luke or whatever, uh,
Yeah.
I get to just remove that Luke so that he's not restoring 3 every turn. I think it's decent. I think it's actually really good, but
You think it's
it's a weird.
$16? I people do love Qui-Gon.
Yes. Yes. 1601.
All right.
I
People
think
do love
simply because
Qui-Gon.
it's Qui-Gon.
Yeah. Qui-Gon is very much a fan favorite. This is the
It's his
first
they've been
Qui-Gon unit that we're
begging for a
getting.
Qui-Gon, and here he is.
The very
People are gonna
first
buy it.
one. Yeah. And it is good. So yeah, I agree.
bottom or top of their deck. So I think this is going to be a huge role
All
player
right.
in yellow hero decks. So I have this at
We
16
got the
bucks. It's going to
Zuck
be a premier
next.
legendary this set.
Zuckerberg.
Zuckus. I tried
Where's
beating
your
up about this guy
jetpack,
before Steve found him,
Zuckus?
but he doesn't even have Underworld. He has a weird ability where you name a card,
Yeah,
and
how does he
the
not have
only thing you really
Underworld?
have to look at opponent's decks is Thrawn. So we're playing like mono yellow Thrawn. He doesn't fit anywhere right now. He's able to get his buff when
Why
you
is he a
have double
force unit?
Warlom out,
I'm
but the
so
fact that he's not Underworld
confused.
means like you're not playing him in even mono yellow Cad Bane.
I don't
So I
know
just don't know why
anything
he's
about
there.
Zuckus.
And why would you need to?
So I guess he has the Force. This is his redemption arc.
Yeah.
He was a bounty hunter underworld guy, and now he's learned he's got the Force, so he's just.
Or is this the prequel of Zuckus and he had the force and he lost it
And then that
and he
was his
became
villain
a
arc,
yeah.
his villain origin story.
Someone's gonna have to let us know in the comments.
We're going to put him. But if you're the kind of person who's so lucky you're just going to name that card correctly all the time, then sure,
Well,
hit for 8
this
like
is
mine.
an
But
easy
otherwise, I
one,
think
a
this is an
dollar
unplayable
a
coaster.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's bad, but
But no
more than a
card's gonna
dollar
be less than a dollar or at a
But if
dollar.
you're
with
the
So
right before regionals,
kind
yeah,
of person who's so
yeah.
lucky you're just going to name that
or
card correctly all the time, then
worlds
sure, hit for 8 all you
Yeah.
want. But otherwise, I think this is an unplayable coaster. All right, this is sneaky strong because I've had a few people sneak this
Legacy
legacy
against me
run.
early on in the
run.
game and then just blow up, just absolutely nuke my board with the 6 damage divided as you choose among enemy units. Basically, Palpatine's effect when it gets defeated. So bringing it in with sneak attack triggers all of that. With Boba Fett from the last set, it can be 7. You know, it can be an additional damage so if you can clear something and keep 1 HP, you potentially kill it. Well, I guess like no one's gonna assign their damage, but either way, it does, does trigger Boba Fett.
I was super
My
disappointed
problem
with
here is
this
that
card.
everyone is just playing high HP units. They all have big booties. So like, if this thing is
Yeah.
23 for 5 and
It's
can't
true.
even kill 2 things when it dies, is it even worth it?
I
Like I said,
agree.
it
I
is sneaky
agree.
strong with that sneak attack play.
So
But
many
otherwise, I think
5
it's
health
pretty
dudes.
underpowered, and I expect it to settle in
It's
around like
stupid.
This is like a sideboard card. That's
Sideboard into what?
I don't know, Vader yellow.
Maybe.
That's like maybe it. I don't know. Something that goes wide with really small units. Yeah. I I don't think it's that exciting of a card, and I think the art's kinda, like,
Yeah.
not very cool. I mean, no, like, shade to the artist, but, like, the ship itself just kinda looks goofy. Um, so I don't think people are gonna be after it for that reason because it's, like, like a 6 Star
No one
Destroyer or
knows
something
what
like that.
this
Yeah, like,
is
10 people
unless you've
have
read
read this book.
The High Republic, yeah.
I'm one of those 10, but yeah, I think most players aren't gonna know what this is. Yeah, alright.
I'll go
Uh,
with 1 cent.
I actually agree. Um, yeah.
$252. All right, Darth Malik. This guy has a lot of
Ooh, Darth
potential.
Malik.
A 5-drop 4/7 overwhelm that when he comes into play, comes into play
$8,
ready
wow.
with a Sith leader unit. That means you have to have your Sith leader flipped and on the table as a tunic card. That's just pretty rare, and a lot of the Sith units aren't that good.
The Prestige version
This
is one of the best looking cards in this
looks
game.
awesome. Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite artists, so
Yeah, well, and it's one of the only prestiges in theory that's not one of the collage ones, so I think it's
yeah.
gonna be even more valuable because people are gonna want that instead of the other ones.
However, this
Mhm.
is a Legends character. You can see the Legends band down the bottom from what's it called? Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice
So
little
I think people are super hype on him.
Knights,
I think that's going to drive the price
KOTOR.
up a little bit. I also think he's got a lot of potential
Half of your
for when they do have a
channel's
Sith unit
name
that
is
might be worth playing
KOTOR.
this guy in. Since you would play this guy in. So I think like he's going to be around $78, and yeah, something I'll be stashing in the back of my bag.
7, $8? I feel like that's a pretty good guess,
I'd go with
personally.
1 cent.
You think it's gonna be under?
Mhm.
I don't know. I think people really like these KOTOR characters, and he fits absolutely perfectly into the Revan deck that I think people are gonna wanna try and play.
Fair. I'll go with your judgment. If I were to do this by myself, I'd say 1 cent, but I could
Alright,
be argued to go 801.
alright. Imma take the 801 on this, and if I'm wrong, then we can blame me. Well, I'll put a star next to this one so we can remember to roast
I
me if
could
I'm
be
wrong.
persuaded to 801. I think it's like a really close call there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
it's
do
like
think it's
I'm
close.
doing
I
a
think that this is a good guess.
yeah.
Right over
So,
here. All right, Grogu. This is a sleeper in challenging
Grogu.
4 stacks. I think a lot of people are going to play him. He's slow, so if you're doing that in a more aggressive play, you might play
10.
them. But in a grindy matchup where you're having
10
you're kind of in these
bucks.
situations I was describing earlier where everyone has these high HP units,
Expensive.
you're going to use this guy to heal your guys out of dying and then actually just kill opponent's characters. So he becomes someone that your opponent has to deal with. And that 6
We
HP
have
is actually
way
kind of
better
really nice considering
legendaries this
how
set than
high the
any
D4 scouts
set
are right now.
before.
So using Grogu
Yes.
to like make your 3/5 kill the other 3/5s and have
Crazy.
die back is really strong. I think he's also got the Grogu bump. He's also got the heroic only bump. So I'm putting him as a $10.
What do you think? I think he's really, really good, especially in Han 2. I think Han 2 is like maybe the best leader in this next set.
So 1001 is what you're saying to me? Is that
I
what you're
don't know.
telling me?
I don't know. Because he also is going to have that prestige version of like the
The
collage
yellow.
prestige.
Yeah.
So that increases the total number of copies that will exist. So the supply is going to be bigger for this card. I also don't really like this art of it. I might be in the minority there, but like
It is not great. It's
it's
very
not
weird.
one of my favorite ones.
It's like it's not in high res. It's like a low res.
Yeah, well, it could be a low res image of it.
No, but
Maybe
even
in
like
hand I like it better, but
maybe
I don't know. But it is Grogu.
1001.
Okay, I could be convinced. I do think Han 2 is like the best leader, and I think this goes in like every Han
You know
2
what?
deck.
Should we go with 1 cent?
You think it's under?
Yeah.
What's your argument?
Uh there's not that many cars that are more than $10 right now.
Yeah, but we got to think about the beginning of the set. First 2 weeks, everybody's grabbing their world's cards.
I don't know, man. All right, I'll keep it 1001.
I th- I I think it's over. I'll take the heat on this one too if I'm wrong.
All right.
Super playable legendary. All right, here's our next unplayable coaster, the
The
Father.
father.
It's a 5/10 each drop. When you
Yeah,
get
trash.
We can just
do,
say
if you do, if you do,
trash
super
for
cool.
these
But
next
it costs 8.
3.
So like
Father,
at
the
what point in
son,
the
and the
game
daughter.
are we
Are those
like
all
our first engine now?
legendaries?
Like yeah, I guess we could go
I
infinite, but he's only got 10 HP.
think.
So you'd have to have something that really, really pops off. Maybe something like Avar Chris. But then for
101
9, so did you ramp into this? I don't know. I just
Yep.
can't see a world where this guy's good. Like he had to be
just
like 2 cost,
because
0/10 that can't attack.
I don't
for
think
this ability to be
anything's
really,
going to be
really
less
good.
than a
But I think he
dollar
doesn't like printing good cards, even though they're flirting with it this set.
within a
So this is
month
just
after the set comes out.
Yeah, this card's just not good.
Yeah.
You spend 8 resources on this. You're almost certainly not also spending the force on this turn, unless you have a leader that can spend the force. Like,
Yeah.
but if you're in hero, like you're never playing this instead of Yoda, I
Mhm.
feel. I feel like the only way that this gets played is if there's some kind of infinite combo or semi-infinite combo where you just like spend the force over and over again and then gain it back and then can keep spending it.
Yeah.
That's sort of the only way that I can see this working.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just feels super weak.
I
So
agree.
$1 unplayable coaster. Shout out to
So,
the author. Cool character. Constructed lightsaber. A lot of people are hyped
oh,
on this card.
this
I'm
is
not
legendary too.
that hyped on it. I think it's cool to have a 3-cost neutral lightsaber that does something good for hero and villain, but not too many decks
Okay.
are gonna be able to take advantage of that. There aren't any
I'm
heroic and villainous
totally
units, right? So like
opposite of him
you can
here.
never have
I think this
both.
card is
And
insane.
like Restore 2 is cool, right? Just because like we have other ways to
301
sort of like buff
for
our unit form.
sure,
I mean, I'd
in
rather
my
just play a super
opinion.
lightsaber that's +2/+2 than
Okay.
like give my unit raid 2. So I don't think this is very good, but the hype around it's pretty high. So it's $3 for me. I will not be sad if I open 0 of these. All right, so here's
It's because you don't play aggro trash decks like I do.
All right. So 301 for that one. I mean, it
Yeah.
is like pretty universal. You just literally put it in any deck. So
Well, it
any
has to be on a
force deck.
force unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any color force deck. So
Well, I'm playing in Third Sister, and I'm not playing a force deck.
yeah, but she has force.
Yes.
So
But
that
it's not a
that's what I
force
mean.
deck.
Like deck that plays force units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the hype around it's pretty high. So it's $3 for me. I will not be
All
sad if
right.
I open 0 of these. All right, so here's the overall price breakdown for this set. In my opinion, I have 6
Less than 3 is
legendaries under $3,
$6.
8 that come in between 3 and 10, 4 that come in the 11 to 20 range, and 2
That's
that
a
come in
lot.
the greater 20 range. Now,
Pretty good
we are used
spread.
to insanely cheap
Very
costs of
good
cards.
spread.
The last couple sets were basically selling below MSRP right from the jump. I don't think this set will be that. You might be able to get it below MSRP, but I think pre-orders, and then right when the set drops, I would expect them to hold around MSRP because of how many good cards there are. The showcases of these leaders are going to be great. It's all like it's all fan favorites, right? It's all these Force, Jedi, Sith
Yeah.
characters. I think
Yeah.
the prices of these cards are going to hold. I think the cards are
I
good enough
pulled
that people actually
4
want to buy them. I
showcases
think this is
in
actually, I
set
know that like, it
4.
might hurt your pocket
It's like, I
in
want
the next
that
set, but
next set.
I think
Yeah.
people weren't really happy with super cheap, like really bad cards that weren't worth anything. You know, we win promos, we can't sell them. We open extra legendaries, nobody wants them. So I do think that like the community in general, I hope appreciates that like the cards are better, so the cards are a little more expensive, and that just like creates a healthier market. We don't feel like we're getting rooked by FFG every time we open a pack. So I'm actually really excited for this
Yeah.
year. I'm excited to open packs, and I'm excited to get cards that are not only worth something, but actually pretty good. I think FFG has a long way to go in terms of like making some like really awesome sort of like pushing the envelope in terms of card strength, so that we can play some really cool and strong decks. But this is at least a step in the direction of like, okay, at least I'm gonna play some cards in this set. When I need to go find a card for my box, my playable play set of Twilight cards, like those sleeves are so smooth because they've never been touched. I don't use almost any card from Twilight. I don't want that. I want to open cards that I get to play with and get to trade and sell and stuff. So I hope this is a step in the right direction. All right, let's take a look real quick at some rares and which rares I think you should buy 3 of immediately. Hey, look at that! I even appropriately named
Ooh.
the slide.
Ooh, okay. This is yeah,
Oh,
I like
Luke.
this. Yeah, I think Luke is crazy good. I think all these are really good.
Interesting. No KTOD Monday?
No,
Wait, is he
he's insane.
uncommon?
He's
Is he
uncommon, yeah.
he's uncommon. Okay.
He's even more insane than you think he is because he's uncommon.
Yeah.
That dude could have been a legendary
Yes.
easily. Like that if that guy's a legendary instead of
Or rare.
Sindralig or whatever, like
Mhm.
would make a lot of sense, and that card would be a $20 legendary.
Yeah.
So
So these are just 6 rares that I think that you want to get 3 of right away. If you remember my video from last set, I was really high on a lot of the rares. This set, I really am not high on the regular rarity rares, but these are 6 that I think are going to go in a lot of decks. So if you're looking at these Jedi decks at all, there's a lot of rarity hidden in these.
Is there
Luke, Kylo,
worse? I guess there's
Analara,
worse rares
Usopp,
this
Yaddle
set,
are
hmm,
all cards that I think are staples in their respective colors. You see, like it's literally
which
one
is
signature color. I don't
interesting.
necessarily plan it like that.
I
And
haven't
that's
really
them,
looked
right?
through.
They did rare Jedi's, and they're
If
all
these
staples
are
in
the
the decks.
best
Obviously, if there's
ones,
any heroic deck.
then
And then the other one I
We
think
haven't
is
done our
you know,
rare
obviously
tier
it's not as
list
good as
yet.
Overwhelming Barrage, but Craving Power
we
is
haven't
pretty
done
good.
that
It's
since
like
set
a
one,
staple if you need
coach.
it, and then in Kyler deck you're playing green. So I just think like that's a really good card to grab 3 of right away. So these are the ones I recommend buying as soon as the set comes out if you don't open them in your packs. All right, that's it for me. Please let me know in the comments if you think I got this
All
Cool.
wrong.
right.
That's
Well, we
it.
will have to run it back here. We probably won't be able to do it before Worlds,
Probably not. I think
so we'll do it
we
right when
should
we get
yeah,
back
we'll snapshot the prices like
before we leave.
the day of the world championship.
Maybe we can do it at Worlds
That would be
with
fun.
Mike.
That would be fun.
So we'll see if we can
Yeah,
line
okay.
that
If
up.
we can make that happen, that'd be a good time. If you guys want to see that, let us know.
Yeah, you
And
guys go
we'll
bother
try and make
Mike.
it happen. So that would be fun. All right.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. If you did, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to KTOD. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.